Throughout summer, the biggest goal of mine was to have as much fun as possible while also working as hard as possible. I mean, it sounds contrary. How can you physically work as hard as possible if you're out distracting yourself with fun? Well, I'm here to tell you that you can. You don't need to commit every single waking hour towards your goals, because you simply can't use your maximum effort when you do so. Let's discuss the difference between a so-called workaholic and someone who productively and efficiently works towards their goals. So someone who's a workaholic is just non-stop grinding. They wake up, they start working. They work until they go to bed, if they even do so. They work so much that they neglect their actual health. And someone who is a workaholic doesn't even see this because they're so committed, they're so focused. Now, this might seem good. If you want to achieve your biggest goals and biggest aspirations, you should work towards them relentlessly and with hard work. Well, it comes to a point when you are starting to affect your health. That is when you lose productivity. And it becomes a point where you're just running on autopilot, doing minimal work, and it's basically meaningless work. And because of this, you miss out on a lot of vital opportunities to create memories and experience life. Honestly, I used to be like this. I would grind, work relentlessly, and I would be frustrated at myself on why I wasn't making any progress, even though I felt like I was putting my maximum effort towards my goals. But I realized when you work non-stop and relentlessly, you cut out everything, you start to lose productivity, and this in return leads you to making little to no progress. This is a terrible trap to be in, and you might not even know that you're in it. I mean, it sounds practical. The more you put in, the more you get out. Although that is true for many other aspects of life, it simply isn't for your work. Whether it be academics, working on a business, or even writing a book, you will simply burn out because of the amount of strain you are putting on yourself, not only mentally, but physically as well. Let me use the gym for example. You can go and spend 8 hours in the gym pushing yourself to exertion and failure, but is that practical? No, not really, because another vital aspect of going to the gym is your diet and recovery. So that is why if you spend 8 hours in the gym, you are not going to make any progress, because you have to take time to recover, take time to rejuvenate, and actually see progress. The same goes for work. You need time to balance, and you need time to alleviate stress. When you look at it from like a gym standpoint, it is so much more practical. You can't put your entire effort into your work if you're not taking a step back and taking a breather for a second, actually embracing that stress and figuring out where it's coming from, fixing it, and using it to put forth towards your work. On the other hand, it isn't realistic to spend every single hour towards your work. Life is short, and if you're anything like me, you do not want to waste it. The reason why I would get mad at my past self is because I would spend hours and hours working, but it was because of low productivity and because I didn't take a step back and alleviate my stress that I wasn't making any progress. And basically, I was just running through my cycles, not putting any real effort into my work. Because psychologically, it makes sense. I'm sitting there working on my business for non-stop. But when you do this, you kind of get into like brain fog and you really can't get anything done. So you're just wasting the time. That is why it's crucial for you to go out there, live your life, and do what you enjoy. And ironically, if you do the hard work in the beginning, now not overdoing it, you will eventually start to enjoy that hard work. And that's the joyous part of delayed gratification. When you do it over a long span of time, you will start to enjoy it because it gives you true dopamine that isn't just meaningless like your phone. When you work, it kind of gives you a little bit of dopamine, but it's meaningless, kind of like scrolling on your phone non-stop. That is why when you take a step back and work in increments, do it for you and do it for peak productivity, this will allow you to generate that delayed gratification and honestly use it as fuel. This is what it means to productively be working towards your goals. You work towards your goals by mediating it with a plan and effective action. This way, when you do sit down to do your work, you can put your maximum focus and effort into that task. Thus, in return, making you make more progress in the span of 3 months than if you were to do this nonstop for 1 year. This will become natural. It'll be almost like a habit. Kind of like how I mentioned delayed gratification, you will start to enjoy it which in return will make you want to do it. And psychologically, you will just get it done. Mediating your work with enjoying life not only leaves you to be less stressed out, but it puts a time constraint onto your work. When you set your work for a certain period of time, whether it be 15 minutes or 2 hours, you get way more done because you are wanting to put that maximum effort in because the time is ticking down. Most people say they have a 2-week project, they delay that project until the last few days. And the reason why they get the majority of their work done in those last few days is because of the time constraint. So by setting aside a block of your day towards work, you have that time constraint and you can put more effort into your work because you kind of want to. That deadline is sooner, and if you don't get it done, you kind of feel threatened. But what about that other free time? How should you spend it enjoying life? Realistically, a lot of people waste the free time they have or the time they don't have work. Say they spend a few hours productively working. Maybe they went to the gym and then they focused on their business. Now that's good, that's a productive day, but you can also productively spend your free time. Instead of instantly scrolling on your phone or going and playing video games or going and getting drunk at a party, you have to use that time to create actual memories. Put it towards things you love, go build connections, or even improve a new skill. But let's say you have free time and you don't know what to do. Then you can productively go back to work. It's better to just work productively than to waste your free time. But if you do have that free time, if an opportunity arises, go take that. Go take that trip. Go hang out with your friends. I mean, if they're good and not negative. And work hard at creating quality memories. You don't want to just work hard in your academics or work hard in the gym. You have to work hard at creating good memories. Because realistically, when you're on your deathbed, you are not going to remember every time you went to the gym. You're not going to remember every minute you spent working on your book. What you are going to remember are the once-in-a-lifetime opportunities, things that you never expected, experiences that you went on, and ways that you spent enjoying life. And you're only going to remember the memories that you spent putting yourself out there. And at the end of the day, you're going to wish you went on that adventure. You're going to wish you stepped out of your comfort zone. You're going to wish that you did something that you've never experienced before. And trust me, even if all hell breaks loose, you will not regret trying. If you want to learn how to harness those opportunities, you can watch this video. Please subscribe. That was a W video, and you are a W person.